Okay?
Yep.
That was the sounding alarm. This cake is rich and delicious, and I like to make it a little bit more elegant by baking it in a fluted bundt pan. The first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350. And then go ahead and prepare your pan so that it's ready and you're not messing with that at the last minute when you're trying to get your batter in there. And you just want to grease your pan thoroughly, especially if you have one of these fluted pans. This is an old-fashioned pan that I really love. And then let's go ahead with these dry ingredients. Got the cup of whole wheat flour, cup of all-purpose brown sugar. Sometimes when you're baking things, you will mix your sugars with your butter and eggs first, but not in this recipe. It just goes right in with the dry ingredients. And then just whisk those to thoroughly combine. Farm fresh local eggs when I can get them. It's one thing that I really think makes a huge difference when you have fresh, as opposed to having traveled long distances and sat in a grocery store cooler for several days. There's nothing like farm fresh eggs. And then let's go ahead and do the bananas. Of course, you want very ripe bananas. I used to work at a food pantry and I would do recipes and nutrition education there. We always had overripe bananas, and I cannot tell you how many times people came up to me and said, "Hey, did you know that you can make banana bread with overripe bananas?" And I would just be like, "Really? You're kidding me." It just became like a running joke because of how often people brought it up, as if I had never heard of it before. Then you just want to mash them. You can just use a potato masher. If you don't have a potato masher, you can use a fork. It should be about 3 bananas, we'll find out. It doesn't have to be exact, but you'd want to be pretty close because it is providing a lot of the moisture in the recipe. So we want 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. Maybe not the most typical fat that you would use in a sweetbread or a cake, but it really works in this one. Or the yogurt. And then some finely grated zest, lemon zest. You could also use orange. I think that would be a nice addition. This recipe comes from Melissa Clark. It's one of her older recipes, I think from 2011. I may have made some adaptations, but I think it's pretty true to the original. So about a teaspoon of this, and I don't usually measure zest because I think it's kind of a hassle to do that. I just try to eyeball it. And then we'll just combine these ingredients, pour the banana mixture into the dry mixture. And as with all cakes, you don't want to overmix this. So let's just get it fully combined. Now you can use chocolate chips, that's fine. You can use a dark chocolate cut up like this, unevenly, I think is nice because then you get some big pockets of chocolate in there and some smaller ones. It's looking like a pretty thick batter. And it's ready to go in the oven. The other thing that makes this banana bread or banana cake a little bit more fancy is it does have a glaze. And the glaze is made up of brown sugar, confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar, and lemon. So the lemon that you zested, it will not go to waste. So we want a total of 4 teaspoons, and I think that's going to be about 1 good sized lemon. And then we want a 1/2 cup of each of the sugars. I really like the use of the brown sugar in this glaze. It's not really traditional texture, I don't think, for a glaze, but I think it works really nicely. All right, and then once you get that mixed up, you can just set this aside until it's ready to go on the cake. Let's check on that cake. So our olive oil banana cake, or banana bread, whatever you want to call it, is out of the oven and it is completely cool. Some glazes you want to add when the cake is hot, so it really like soaks in. This is really meant to kind of drape over the top of the cake. So we add it after it is completely cooled, and the sugar has dissolved more in this lemon juice mixture. And we're just gonna artistically drape it over the top and let it drizzle in the center and down the side. When you let this cake cool, also this crystallizes a little bit more and just has a little bit of a different look to it. It smells like banana, but you've also got that citrus aroma happening as well. This looks great. It's really flavorful. Got that banana coming through, little hints of chocolate throughout. Gives it a really decadent flavor that I don't really associate with banana bread. This is not a light and fluffy cake. It definitely has more of that texture of a banana bread, but I just think the flavors and the richness of it are distinctive. Great texture, great flavor. It's a wonderful cake. I hope you will try it. If you enjoyed our recipe today, please like and subscribe, and you can listen to our podcasts at eartheats.org or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.